They called me one day and said they wanted me to come in because they wanted to hear what Jules sounded like. And I was like, all right, sure. So I went in and, we sat there and I read with Lawrence again and somebody else in the room. And then they started to have auditions, I guess, after that. And like I said, I was in New York doing Fresh. And I get a phone call from my manager saying, well, apparently they read some guy who asked to read your part when they were auditioning for something else. And they were so blown away by him, they're thinking about, giving him the part now. I was like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, nobody told me when I went in to read I was auditioning. They told me the part was mine when they sent me the script. So it was one of those Hollywood lessons that you always have to do the things that you do. Don't take for granted that just because somebody said it's yours, it's going to be yours, because they change their minds. Just the wind blows one way and blows another way on another day. So they brought the other guy in, they brought me in. It's Lawrence, Quentin, and Paul somebody. They're all going, hey, 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 and they get ready to introduce him. He says, oh, you don't have to introduce me to this man. I love your work, Mr. Fishburne. And I was like, for real? He didn't. So now I'm like really pissed off. But we get in the room, we start to do the reading, and we're like rocking through it. And the reader, I don't know who this guy was they hired as the reader, but he's reading with me, and I'm like going through this thing, and I'm like boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, dude's not reading anymore. He's like just staring at me like, and I'm like, dude, this is an audition. And he's like, oh, I was just so mesmerized. So he was lost. I'm like, he's gonna blow the job for me. But we continue, and we end up with the diner scene. We do the diner scene, blah, 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 and it's done. And I get on a plane, go back to New York, thoroughly pissed off to finish Fresh, and then Lawrence comes back. And when he gets back that day, he tells me, look, don't worry, everything's cool. Role is still yours. But let me tell you, we never knew how this movie ended until you did the last diner scene, until you did that last monologue. And that's what cemented the job for you. Like when you did that, because the room was like totally silent. You could hear a pin drop in the room. And he was like, now we know what happens at the end of the movie. So thanks.
The truth is, you're the weak, and I am the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd.
Everybody wanted the role. Daniel Day-Lewis wanted it, and he was super. He just won an Academy Award. He was super hot, and the kind of guy they wanted in the part. I think there's about a half a dozen really hot guys artistically that wanted the role, and Quentin said, I'm going to go back and repair this guy and put him in a role that he deserves to be in. And I'm going to fight for it. And nobody ever did that for me, and that's why my memory of his love and depth of admiration is my favorite part of my memories of Pulp Fiction, because it's more like what your mother or father would do for you. And I didn't even know if I was going to live up to his expectations, but there's something interesting that happens when someone believes in you that much. Your best self comes out, your best abilities, your need to make them correct in their decision and their choosing you comes to be. And you give the best you can give. And that's what I did. I just said, I'm not going to let this boy down.